In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a knowledge base in AgentVoice. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is log in, and when you're in, here on the left side of your screen, you're going to see a little knowledge base page, and that's what you're going to want to click on. The very next thing we're going to do is move over here to where it says create knowledge base. And this will only show up if you don't have knowledge bases yet. Otherwise, you will click the button in the top right that says New Base. And one thing to note while we're up here is in the top right of the screen, there is a little indicator that shows you how many knowledge bases you have used based off of the plan that you are on. So let's proceed with creating our very first knowledge base that our agents can access during a call. Something that's very important to note is that our knowledge bases were made to be one of the best knowledge bases in the world. And so we spent a lot of time on figuring out how we can use the most intelligent AI systems to optimize the information that you upload to our platform for the knowledge bases. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is here in the basic information, right? This is just for accounting, right? So there's nothing that actually plays into effect of the quality of the knowledge base from what you put in these fields here. This is just simply so that if you have multiple knowledge bases, you'll be able to reference them and look back at them and see what they're for. So for this sake, I'm just going to go ahead and put in AgentVoice because that is the purpose of this knowledge base. And I'm just going to put demo here in this description field because, again, this is something that you want to be able to reference back and be able to figure out what this knowledge base is for, especially if you've got a lot of them. So the very next thing that we'll discuss are the different types of data that we can upload. All right, the first thing is websites. That's the first input here. Underneath the websites, you have documents. So any PDFs, any Word documents, any TXT files. And as of now, those are the only file types that we accept. And we are looking to expand further into different file types like PowerPoint and that kind of stuff. Underneath of that, we have audio files, and this is where you can upload MP3s, WAV files, or M4As. And essentially, what happens here is you upload the audio files, and our AI system will listen to it and extract the most important and relevant information that your AI agent is going to be able to quickly reference during a live phone call that will make the most sense. For example, if I upload 100 phone conversations, let's say they're sales calls, then our agent will be able to listen to all of those, get the most important information out of there that it's going to be able to use during its calls. And so that is an example of the audio files and when you'd use that. The images, this is a very rare use case, but in the event that you have a photo with information on it, let's say a graph or a chart, then this is where you can upload that image and have the AI analyze it and figure out how it can use that image and convert it to valuable information so that your AI agent can then reference it during a live phone call. So let's go ahead and test out a website real quick and see how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to AgentVoice. This is just going to be the easiest thing for me. And it doesn't crawl the web pages yet. And we're not sure if it'll ever because that can become very difficult in terms of controlling the data that you give your agent. For example, there's a lot of content on the AgentVoice website, and we don't necessarily need everything that lives on this website to be accessed by the agent, right? There's a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily super important for the agent to know. So for that reason, we strongly encourage you to just focus on uploading one URL at a time. And so you can go to your website, hit the copy button, head over back to AgentVoice, click into the URL here, click paste, and then the very next step after that is to click this button that says process website. What will happen from this point on is it'll begin to analyze the content. And as it's analyzing the content, our AI system is retrieving all the information from your website. It's looking at it, it's reading it, it's converting certain information to other kinds of information so that when it is stored in our vector database, it will be the best information that your AI agent can use during a live call. And the way that knowledge bases work is a little complex if you're not familiar with it, but essentially the information gets converted into certain types of information that fits in a vector database, and that helps the AI agents quickly be able to read through a lot of information that's relevant to what's being talked about on the call. That's the summary. So this can take somewhere in between 30 to 60 seconds. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause my video. Oh, there we go. So now we're done. So now we can go in and see what this information looks like. So if I open this, we can understand that the AI was able to understand what the topic of that URL that we gave it was. gives you a summary of the information that it found, so everything that was on that page. And then also, there's some things that happen behind the scenes with figuring out what good keywords would be for that web page, and it helps rank the information based off of, the information that you've uploaded, right? So there might be some information that you upload that's more important than others. A lot of this stuff you don't necessarily need to fully be able to comprehend, just understand that there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. And so this is your little analysis that you can open up the URL in and kind of take a quick glance to see how well it did. So if you're satisfied with that, you can keep going up to 10 URLs and the agent will be able to process that. And that is our limit for all of these at the moment. It's just 10 for each file, so a total of 40, and that can be used to create a knowledge base. And so once you're ready, you just hit Create AI Knowledge Base. You take a look at everything that you've uploaded. So we've only uploaded one website, and you're able to do documents and audio files and images as well. Tells you the total word count of information. Just make sure that all looks good, content sources and content segments. All this stuff looks good, and we can just go ahead and hit Approve and Create. And once we're done, you'll see a little message here that says it's all good. A little refresh happens because a lot happens behind the scenes, and then you can click into it and view all the information for that knowledge base. And so to attach a knowledge base to an agent, we're going to go back to our agent voice demo that we created in the videos above, and then we'll go into agent setup and go down to knowledge. And this is where we can go into select knowledge base and choose the knowledge base that we just created, attach it to the agent, and once we're done, we see that the save button is now blue. All we have to do from this point on is hit save, and we are good to go from there. So now, if I were to call this agent, it would be able to tell me all the stuff that I just included in the knowledge base. And so if you want to test, you can click the Start Test button right here in the top right, and you're able to speak to your agent directly in the platform and test how well it does with the knowledge base that you have. And that is exactly how to create and integrate a knowledge base on AgentVoice.